All right, so let's talk about today's charting session. Didn't took any trade. Had we have FOMC and we also had advanced GDP at 6 a.m. and we are about to have FOMC at 11:30 Indian Standard Time. So let's go into the day and let's talk about my bias and everything going into the day. I was pretty sure that we were pretty much about to see some kind of chop in New York AM session, but I still try to give it a try. Let's see what happens. Okay. So here my idea was to see this fair value gap respect or disrespect. According to that, if I can get a little bit of push or something like that. Okay. So from this 1 hour into the 5 minute, into this 5 minute, as you can see, here we had our internal sweep. Okay. Here we had our internal sweep. Okay. So let's go and start. So as soon as we took it, I went to the 1 minute, and here as you can see, okay, we swept internal, but breaking through any of these lows I won't consider as my shifting structure, because you have to understand that this is a part of chop consolidation. So I won't consider breaking any of these lows as my you know shifting structure. I would like to see some important level, and in my idea it was maybe this low or this low. I saw this displacement, but let's actually go into that. We had internal sweep first. Okay, let's actually one by one verify the model checklist. First of all, we had internal sweep. Okay, from there, if I draw out my volume profile, the displacement did came out of an high volume zone. Okay, as you can see, the displacement is came out of an high volume zone. That's one confirmation goes. We had an internal sweep and a shifting structure. Seems like this is displacement is okay. Okay, heavy big fair value gaps. Now my idea is, let's like check the footprint chart. What you're saying, I'm saying as you're displacing through, there's a loss of volume coming in. This candle that is breaking through this low is also considering having a lot of sell side imbalances. Okay, if I generally open this up, you can see there is a lot of buying. See these green colors, there's a lot of buying happening, potentially showing by this structural shift, showing all of those buying got absorbed into the market. Okay, so these are everything, and there comes a very crucial checklist point, which is volume. Okay, volume, if I check out this, one way to understand the absorption is this. See this heavy buying, there's a lot of buying happening in this specific particular candle. Look at this. I'm gonna come into this indicator. I created this indicator and I'll talk about it, but look at this. You get a heavy dark green means heavy buying going on. Okay, and we're above the average volume. That there was heavy, particularly very heavy volume, but look at the candle, it's not doing anything. So besides the footprint charts, the volume is also showing the amount of absorptions is coming into the market. There is a loss of absorption happening into the market. But as soon as we started displacing, look what is there. Yes, we are above the average price, but there is no strong buying happening. I would like to see, like, if you use any specific traditional footprint charts, you're gonna have section below at this level. You're gonna see volume, delta, cumulative delta, and some other important things. But as I have also already spoken about a lot which is whenever there is displacement happening, breakout. Displacement is one kind of breakout, because in MSS is one kind of breakout, because I am seeing a specific level like a high or low getting breakthrough. So we want to see volume come into the market. Okay, if not, that possibly is telling that it's most probably a fake out, or the move is not going to be pretty aggressive. It's going to be slow until and unless volume comes. Okay, but I'm seeing gradually volumes dropping down. If you look at this, we're coming low and the gradually volume dropping down, and there is a strong red color. If you look at those traditional charts, you're gonna see they usually color code each volume level in a box. The more dark color, the more uh, the more you know the more aggressive, the more participation, the more volume in it. So I have created this indicator this way, that red, there is two colors. I actually come into the this, but let's first complete this one. We don't have any particular red colors here, and volume is gradually dropping. So significantly there is not much of an volume. If there is not much of an volume, most likely this is a fake out or anything. So my idea is to not take any trade inside this retracement back in into the level. My idea is to wait and watch further confirmation. I waited for further confirmation and we started pushing to the upside. Just yesterday I did it. I did the mistake. Okay, just yesterday I did the mistake. There was not much volume. I took it and I got stopped out, even though everything played out. This one's a similar situation as well. What ended up happening? We pushed higher, and if I had take the trade, I would have got stopped up. After that, it was nearly like I don't stay more than 850. By this time 850 is already near, so in the 5 minute I'm not getting anything, so I got out of the trade. But after that, as you can see, there was a little downside move, but this doesn't make anything, because you have to understand this FOMC coming. By this time the lunch is about to start, and that means consolidation, and after that the FOMC about to hit. So there is no way for me to stay and look for trades after this period of time. Okay, so this is the reason that according to the model everything was in there, but a crucial thing, as I said, important, three things are most important: displacement, imbalances, and volume. Displacement, imbalances, and volume. And as you can see, this volume profile, absorption was a bit of context that gave you confidence behind this move, that yes, there was passive sellers over there who absorbed buying and pushed the lower. But by the time there is no specific, if there is passive buyers, sorry, passive sellers who are actually coming into this market and getting filled, there has to be volume. Okay, there has to be volume. Because there is no volume coming, that's kind of telling you that this must be something that is getting driven by some other entity. But you have to be, there has to be volume coming into the market if there was passive orders were there. If not, then you're gonna see there is no volume coming into the market. If there is, you're gonna see strong volume come into the market, strong volume come into the market, which will push, which would have easily pushed the price lower, as those sellers are getting into the market using this aggressive buyer. Okay, that's why looking at the volume is very very important. By this time, there's a small another thing that I noticed here was, in this candle, as you can see, in this specific candle we had a little bit of volume. This is, let's say, a okay type volume, and you see this volume profile, there's an exhaust low down here, which kind of showing another type of absorption into the market. So this was pretty much something, and by this time in the delta we were already having, you know we were already having multiple divergences into the price. Okay, if I can show it here, not this one. We are already having multiple divergence at the below, at the up, which already was indicating and chop into the market. Okay, so this is very important that you have you see the volume come into the market. Now let's talk about this indicator going into there. Okay, so this indicator is normal volume indicator, but a little bit more advanced. Means in this indicator there are 4 color codes for green: 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 color codes. uh, these are uh, this 3 and 7 will show heavy aggressive buying or selling. If there is heavy aggressive buying, it will be uh, it if there is heavy aggressive buying, it the bars will show with if there is heavy aggressive buying happening, it will show you with heavy colors, dark green colors. Okay, it will show with dark green colors. Okay, and it will show it with dark green colors, and if there is aggressive selling, there will be dark red color. Okay, there is two. This is the 3 and 2, these are green, so these two are possibly some good amount of volume. Okay, if these two are possibly good amount of volume. Okay, but the other two are actually means very less amount of volume. Okay, and there comes the average volume. Now this shows with a 50 period SMA. This one shows the average volume that has been coming into the market over the period of time. So my idea is pretty sure that once there is someone's passively entering into and there is aggressive buying coming, there will be a lots of participant involved in the market, as there is the displacement is coming. Okay, if there is a displacement, there will be lots of uh, participants will be there. So I want to see those areas there has to be aggressive amount of volume. Okay, there has to be aggressive amount of volume, and that volume absolutely has to come above the average price. These are, and every candle below here is an below average. Okay, I want, the first thing is I want to see that the volume comes above the volume comes above the average price. Okay, and it has to be uh, it has to be heavy. So how am I looking at the heavy? I'm looking at the heavy through two ways. Let's make it 80 actually. How am I looking at it's heavy or not? Through two colors. This is a little bit of light, that means okay, this is okay kind of volume. Somehow we were above somehow we were above the average price. And one is dark color, one is dark colors like this will show that there was exponential volume that was traded into the market, as you can see, right? These are dark colors. So first of all, we have to be above the average price. It's not like a slow touching or something. You need to see there is some you need to see we go quite a bit above, something like this. Okay, above the average volume that was traded. This is one. And second is, you want to see gradually volume increase as you're displacing. Okay, and you're gonna compare it like a number, not normal comparison, like there was not. If I actually show the previous day trade again, it will be here. I've already made the charting session about it. So look at this. We had the internal sweep and we had the displacement. Okay, this was in the 30-second time frame, but look at the 1 minute. We had gradually volume higher. Okay, this is a normal thing, but I want to see, this is there has to be, look at this two candle. This candle was that candle that has done the displacement into the 30-second, and we had actually closed above this high. So look at this volume. This is heavy. First of all, it is above the average volume traded, and it's a dark green candle showing lots of participants coming into the market. This is where my volume is checked, like there is heavy volume came into the market. And compare this, as you can see, this two candle, compare this with the others. Average, they were like in this area there, this was the two candle where the most amount of volume was traded during this period, right? So this is the way you're looking at the this is the way you're looking at the volume. Okay, first you want to see, okay, we displaced, we, it has to be above the average price, and then it has to be uh, dark color absolutely. And uh, out of those two color, as you can see, dark color, and there has to be like overall quite bigger volume, like comparing it with the others, they has to be have quite a bit of volume than others. Okay, they has to have quite a bit of volume than others. This shows a normal party, the normal way to understand. Okay, main is the color scheme, that how the main is the color scheme means, is it dark green or a little bit small, like it has to be either this or this. Okay, if it's a full dark, that's very good. If it's something like this, then it's kind of okay. Okay, but I would like to definitely see this very dark color. Okay, so I'm still working on it with this, like that means I still working on with this volume and trying to understand how it can effectively happen. Like in this case, as I saw, there was not aggressive buying coming into the market. As I said, it shouldn't be something a small push above this average price. It has to be above this average volume line. It has to be quite a bit of high, quite a bit of, it's more like it is also breaking through this average volume, that is showing that there is participation coming into the market, and with dark colors absolutely. So by looking at the volume and getting the volume confirmed, you can actually will be able to understand fake displacement into the market, something like this, right? You won't take these trades and you won't have these unnecessary fake out losses at all. Okay, so still learning with this. So over the period of time, let's see what happens. As more information comes, I take more trades, I use it more and more and more, I gather the data, the more I'll be able to understand how this is actually implementing into my market. Okay, and absolutely the other thing, the imbalances has to be there as the displacement coming into the market. And yeah, pretty much. And it can also help you to absorption. Okay, it can also help you to observe absorption, like in this case, as I told you, volume is there is this significant amount of volume that was traded here, as you can see in this candle, but there is no expansion and we end up having displacement to the downside. This is actually showing that there's absorption happening. Now you can either use it with the footprint chart. You can see there's a lots of buying coming per tick, and from there we displaced lower, that shows the absorption. Besides this volume also showing you the amount of displacement, the absorption is happening and the absorption is there. Okay, so let's see over the period of time how more refined I can make up with this volume, although it's a very crucial tool absolutely to understand the displacement. So yeah, I'm pretty much going with it and trying to understand day by day like how better I can do it. So let's go and refine more and more. The more I the more I be use it, take the trades and understand, make the losses, the more I'll be able to understand how this is actually working. Okay, so that's it for the charting session. So let's see.